What's good with it in the hood with it? Welcome back to the collective clips where you already know. Tas. We're about to get it in. But before we get it in, let's get this intro in. And then I'll introduce a new super. Orale, ese is super sneaky. Where is he? Let's go. Welcome back to the channel. And if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, make sure you do that. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content that the gun stays kicking. And I appreciate all the support. And I'm very humbled by it. Whooping, right? Are you ready for a new super? Another Norteno? Super sneaky. Shh. Don't say that around Rick because he flips out. One time I told him, hey, you're being sneaky. Whooping, no, I'm not being sneaky. I don't like, he's no good. He's no good. Calm down, man. Yeah, he's no good, but he shouldn't be. He should be all good. Well, maybe he should. I don't fucking know. He was different. Anyways, let me tell you who he was because he is Ricky's biggest op besides Mr. Capone. Those are the two names you can't say around Rick. His head starts fucking doing the exorcist, right? Starts whooping. Right? That fool goes all crazy, right? You can't say sneaky and you can't say Mr. Capone. You can get away with more Mr. Capone than you can sneaky, to tell you the truth. And I'm going to explain to you why and what happened to the homeboy who was removed for nothing, in my opinion, right? There's always something behind the scenes that happens. But in this case, man, he got bamboozled by a bamboozler. He got hit on several different occasions, but this one in particular, to remove him from the cause, was done illegitimately. But then the homeboy said, fuck him. He's a knack anyways and a JCAT. And they left him like that. That's one of the reasons that I could put on my long list of reasons I was skeptical about being a part of something like that. Now, let me explain to you who Sneaky is, right? So I grew up with the individual, was a homeboy, right? He was a homeboy, like a good friend, but he was always a JCAT. So you always have a JCAT in your body. You always have someone who's just knacks it out, who's the butt of the jokes, who's always getting clowned on, but he's our clown. He ain't no clown to anyone else, right? That's like Ricky whooping. He could be our clown right here, but in real life, that motherfucker right there will twist your bottle cap, right? He's not playing. And so Sneaky was that way. He was known to put in work. He was doing his thing, but at the same time, he was like, get the fuck out of here, Sneaks, right? We didn't want to hear it. Well, we were in the youth authority together. And in YA, it was a different animal. That's the proving grounds. That's where everybody was trying to prove themselves that you're a gangster and earn your stripes and make your reputation. And that's what I was on. You know, I was a striving young Norteno. My whole goal that I was trying to obtain was the legitimacy of the cause. I wanted everyone to know we were for reals. And I made a lot of sacrifices. And I was sent places where I didn't want to go, but I was forced to go, right? Like down in Southern California. And I had to do what I had to do to make things happen. But I always wanted to have a good reputation. I always wanted everyone to think, hey, I was that one. Well, Sneaky, he got the good luck charm. He got to go to OH Close. He got to go from OH Close to Carl Holton. He got to go to Carl Holton to Preston. And that's where it took a different turn. While he was in Preston, meanwhile, I'm in Nellis doing my thing. That fool's in Preston. There's like 3 or 4 homeboys from Merced there. So our reputation was good. The city of Merced was good throughout the state system and the youth authority as well as prison. We've always been well respected. We've always had soldiers that have put it down. And people fuck up, make mistakes, man. You're going to get dudes removed and whacked. And that's just how it is. But at the same time, man, you can't be a JCAT, okay? Ricky or Sneaky. You just can't be, right? Right now, Ricky heard that. He's like, ear muffin, Chino, ear muffin. I fucking can't stand that, dude. This is what happened. He was locked up with my homeboy Squeaks, a couple other homeboys, right? My homie Soldier Boy, a few other dudes. And I guess he went assed out backwards, man. There was a one jump, all jump policy in the youth authority with the Southsiders and the Bulldogs and Northerners and Whites, which are the groups that mostly went at it. Blacks as well, right? And what happened was there was an issue with the Whites that arise. See, in Preston, the woods moved differently. They moved, homie. Right? In other ways, there wasn't really too many woods, and they functioned with the Southsiders, and that's just how they did their thing. But there, they were independent of everyone. They had a loose alliance with Southerners, but they weren't functioning up under their policies. They were doing whatever the fuck they wanted to do. And so they were going at it with Northerners, and I ain't even gonna lie, they were downing Northerners. They were getting off. Some had happened. I don't know the exact what happened, the exact event, but something occurred where it was Whites and Northerners going at it in the youth authority in Preston, and Whites were getting off where they were fucking mad at, brother. Right? The woods were good. The woods were woodchucking, chucker, right? And that's it. Not fucker, but chucker. They were doing their thing. And so the homeboy was involved in a riot, but not really involved in the riot. He took a knee. Okay. He did a Kaepernick. He did a Kaepernick during the riot. And so when he went to what is called Tamarack, the hole there, homeboys were on him. They were like, hey, you're Lev, bro. You didn't fucking participate. Because that was one of our things. I don't give a fuck if you threw one punch. You better participate. If something cracks off with the homeboys, no questions asked. Get involved. Run as far as you had to. Jump a fence. Do a monkey flip. Sasuke, do the wormy dog. Whatever you had to do to get there, get there. At least try. Because the homeboys were like, damn, the homeboy took off running all the way from Cedar over there to the chow hall. That motherfucker was running. Cops running after him. He's still trying to make it. Throw one kick and you're good. You did your thing. But if you ran all the way over there and didn't participate, you is no good. And that's exactly what happened. So I guess that it happened. It was why shit. We get out. He comes through to a party, right? And the homeboys are there. And a couple of the homeboys were in the same fucking facility as him at that same particular time, right? And so we're all chopping it up, laughing, clowning, right? And one of the homeboys, Soldier Boy, who was always kind of an asshole, right? He's my boy. I got love for him, but I gave him the fizzle pop. I told you guys a story a long time ago. I hit him in the head with the Pepsi Cola, right? This dude right here was super duper Norteno. Not like whooping, but like whooping, right? It was just different. And so he was like smutting up Sneaks. Oh, man, this fool was Levon White. And Sneaky's right there. Sneaky ain't no punk. Like, he ain't going out like that. But the homeboy just was swatting him up like, yeah, bro, he was no good. This fool fucking didn't jump for the homies. He left us hanging, this and that. Now, Soldier wasn't there on that compa when the shit went down. He wasn't there when that exact riot went down, so he didn't see it with his own two eyes. And I've always been one of those ones, man, I don't believe in smut. If you ain't got the paperwork, if you ain't got the shit, I give you the benefit of the doubt. Due process, like, nah, the homeboy saw it. Also, there's a mentality that goes like this, a saying. Whatever happened in YA stayed in YA unless you were sucking chorra, then that's different. So, okay, I don't want nothing to do with that, right? But if you were a homeboy and you might have slipped up, man, or you didn't participate in something, it didn't mean I couldn't trust you. It just meant I wasn't going to do nothing really around you. And that's it. You know, there was plenty of times where people just made mistakes. You were a youngster. You were scared. Whatever the fuck it was, right? It just happened. So I didn't care about the YA shit. And you know, we boast and we brag about the YA stories. But I didn't care if you made a mistake or whatever. Like I said, as long as you weren't giving reach arounds, then you could come around. That's it. So the homeboy was smutting him up. So Sneaky hit him up. Like, hit him up 1, 2, 3. You know what I mean? What's up? And the homeboy was like, nah, bro, I ain't even going to give you that fade, homie. I ain't going to do none of that, bro. You was a soca. You was a Levon YA. So they had a little standoff in the OK corral. And okay, it's over. Let's corral this away. And that was that day. So, but it never left my mind, right? Because when I would see Sneaky get played, that particular event made him a little bit different. He was like putting in more work on the streets and doing his thing because he felt some type of way. And that led me to believe that what the homeboy said was true. So I did my proper investigations. I asked the homeboy Weasel from Loftbro, right? He was from a different gang. It was actually the enemy, the other side, the north side, right? He was the enemy of our neighborhood. And I hit him up one day. We were good friends since we were kids. And we used to see each other in traffic. And there was really no beef between us. It was like hood beef, but not personal, right? So what's up, bro? Hey, were you locked up with Sneaks? He's like, that fucking dude's a joke, bro. And he started elaborating on more different things that happened. We caught that fool eating after fucking whites. We caught him doing this. We caught him doing that. Which over there, I mean, it's not a big deal. Eating after a white man, brother. Roach used to be like, you want a bite of my burrito? I used to be like, yeah, what the fuck is this? Mild salsa and a gang of onion. You know, white men love onion. This is nasty, right? But so I ate after the white man was no big deal. But in YA, that was a rule, a regla. You couldn't do that. I seen white dudes fucking brushing up after eating after Northerners, all kinds of shit. So he's throwing shit out there. I'm just kind of like, all right, cool. I wasn't going to push an issue on the homeboy or nothing, but it was what it was. So Sneaky, that jacket and reputation kind of followed him, which was unfortunate because that was youth authority stuff. And when you go to prison and you grow up, that shit shouldn't be used against you if it's not really no big deal. Now, the homeboys that were there were affected. They're going to feel some type of way. They're not probably going to fuck with you no more, but it doesn't mean that everyone can't fuck with you. He was a solid homeboy and he had bad chicks. And that equaled opportunity. The opportunity was every time he came around, he brought a bad chick and said, tit for tat for the tits. That's it. We're on, right? So we end up in the county jail, right? We're all there for different cases. I get there, Sneaks is there. So obviously he's cleared if he's functioning on the block, right? But I didn't know that he was on ice. He was on freeze at that particular time. So I get there, man, I'm topping it up with the homeboys. I do my little fucking, what I got to do, man. I end up getting cleared in a couple of days. It's all good. Now I'm brought within the household business. Now my ears are open. Now they're able to tell me what's going on. And one of the homeboys from my neighborhood who was running the county at that time, it's like a little brother to me, right? He pulls me to the side. He's like, hey, bro, let me get at you. Can I get at you? Yeah, you sure can, right? What's up? Menudo style. He's like, what's up? What's up with the homeboy right here? I said, fool, that's the homie for the hood. You know him. He said, yeah, bro, but if it was a JCAT, I said, he's a little odd, bro. He's a little different. He's still the homie, though, bro. He puts in work. He says, yeah, bro, I'm not questioning that, but I'm hearing a lot of things. I got on the phone the other day with the homeboy, and he told me that fool was Levon YA. And I said, yeah, I don't know, bro. I heard he was. But if he was, that don't matter. Like, he gets a redemption packet, right? He gets the stimulus package. He can stimulate, right? It's all good. He's like, bro, I don't know if we could abreast him of household business. Like, he doesn't seem like the type of character. So what happened was there was a homeboy, right, that comes from Chowchilla. I ain't never met a homeboy from Chowchilla in my goddamn life. I never met a homeboy from Gustine until I met Pepe. Until I met Ricky, right? But here comes this homeboy from Chowchilla, kind of swole, little light-skinned homeboy, looked almost white, and he was cool. He gets put in my cell. So we end up hitting it off. He's telling me all these stories, and he's just a cool homeboy. He's cleared. It's all good. He's been in prison before, so he's seasoned. Well, anyways, man, they end up moving Sneaky. I get him moved to my cell. It's an 8-man cell. He's having trouble over there. Like, the homies are taking advantage of him. They're using him because he had chicks. One thing about him, he had a gang of chicks, so he's getting all kinds of canteen. The homies are just playing him out of pocket. He's from my neighborhood, so I feel like he's in there in a cell with no one from my neighborhood, but he got homeboys from the hood right there. And so he kind of shot me a little weed out, like, hey, bro, I want to get over there with you. And I said, yeah, let me take him over here before they fucking trip on him. So I take him in there. He ends up getting into it with the homeboy from Chowchilla over some fucking sopas, some knack shit, right? And they almost come to blows, and I have to stop it. I have to fucking write a wheel out, send it down to the homeboy, let him know. He's like, hey, bro, we're getting tired of this, man. We might have to do the removal tip on this dude. And I said, bro, it ain't that serious, man. Let's just DP him or whatever. So he ends up having to write an essay and do a bunch of burpees, whatever, right? He gets out. He goes to court. He gets out. The homeboys are like, hey, if he comes back, we're probably going to whack this dude, right? I'm like, why, bro? What do you do? He's just a fucking knack, bro. Now, that's one thing about the Norteno cause is you're only as strong as your weakest link. And if he's weak, which he was kind of, he just did odd shit. He's like Ricky, right? Whoopin', I didn't even fuck shit. I didn't know that was a man, right? Stupid shit, right? He didn't know. So it's just like he did, but he didn't. It's just, everyone's born different. Some are just stupider than others, right? Doesn't mean they're punk or they're not down. It's just, they're just different, right? I don't know what to say. So anyways, this is how him and Rick become bitter rivals. I end up getting out, and Sneaky's old lady has a prima that I hook up with, right? So I'm always around this dude. And now we're out on the streets. No one's really tripping off him. A lot of the homeboys that were really like sweating him, they kind of went to prison or they're doing their own family thing. And it's whatever it is, right? No one's tripping on the guy who's on the streets like that. In my neighborhood, it wasn't like people pressing the issue. It's when you got locked up, that's when it got ugly. Now, there was a few dudes floating around saying his name, Sneaky's very sneaky, right, and shit, but they weren't about to do nothing. So we had the battle of the JCATs. What happened was I hooked up with Sneaky's old lady's prima, and we were doing a birthday party at my tia's house. My tia's, I don't fucking want to have it here, but we're going to fucking have it here. It smells like dog shit. You know what? I don't know these people. You're bringing people over to my house. Leave the dog shit. Don't even scoop it up. Then maybe they'll just leave their foot and run. Okay, bring out all the fart spray. We want to fucking, what we want to do, we want them to bring a whole bunch of carne asada, then leave, and then us and the roaches can just eat the rest, mijo. Anyways, I convinced my tia to let me throw a party in her backyard because I lived in an apartment, so I didn't really have it. We didn't want to do it at a park. We wanted it a little bit more private. So we're having a party. This was the first time that Sneaky was ever around Ricky. Ricky had just got out of prison, so it takes him like a year to depressurize. For a year straight, the vato super peacocked out. Whoopin'! Norte, I'm active. Everyone's like, okay, cool. They'll come out there like, happy birthday to... He's a Norte birthday to you. Right? He's different. So Sneaky is a cat. He's a cat. Battle of the JCATs. What happened is Sneaky's old lady is kind of looking at Rick. Like I said, man, I don't know what it is about that motherfucker, but they are gravitating towards him, right? Now, I got my chick and she tells me, hey, there's going to be issues. You know, Sneaky's no punk, but his lady, my sister or my cousin, she's kind of feeling your primo, hook it up. I'm like, nah, I can't do that to the homeboy. Like, I don't do that. Like, oh, I'm going to fucking go behind his back and hook. You know what I mean? Nah. I'll do it if it's reverse. Like, you're my homegirl. Since I'm taking the homeboy away. Let's go. We're going to go hook up with some chicks. But it's bro code. It's Huelga code, right? And plus, they'll whack me for that shit. I'm cool. But Ricky told me, Whoopin', why does that girl keep looking at me? I said, she's feeling you. Whoopin', but isn't she with the homie? I said, yeah, you can't do that, bro. Whoopin', but I don't like him. I'm like, why don't you like him? He thinks he wants to act like me. I said, you ain't kidding. He does kind of act like my dad. I look at this muchacha right here. I fucking like him. He reminds me of his son. My son are both fucking stupid asses. Both of them. We're going to, fuckface number 3, we're going to move you to the side. He's going to be fuckface number 3 from now on. You can spend the night, mijo. You guys, I got bunk beds. I'm going to put I'm going to take Ricky's water bed. I'm going to put bunk beds for 2 stupid asses right there. Stupid ass 1 and stupid ass 2. You guys can do whatever you want. Sheila, we'll put the water bed in the closet. We'll stuff it in there and stuff your fat ass in there too. So my tia was going crazy. She liked him. Ricky didn't. He said his mom was showing him attention. The homeboy was cool. So he comes up to me and he's like, hey, bro. And he was cool. What's up with Rick? I said, what's up? He said, man, your primo be tripping on me. I said, nah, he just doesn't know you, bro. He knows you're a homie and it's all good, but he just doesn't know you. So I'm like, I'm going to bring you guys together. So I tell Ricky, come here. Ricky's, whooping. Whoa. You want to get active? The dude's like, hey, Sneaky's like, nah, bro, I'm cool, bro. Just, hey, mucho gusto. Nice to meet you. Hey, I appreciate your hefa letting us do it there. We left the dog shit, motherfucker. Right? I'm like, Ricky, calm down. What's your issue with him? I don't like him. He thinks he's me. Right? His old lady must have thought that fucking Ricky was him too because she was on his chorra. So what ends up happening is as they're leaving, we're packing everything up. It was a good time. Ricky was doing his own thing with Sheila. Everyone had a good time. That chick tells me, Sneaky's chick, hey, what's up with your cousin? And I said, nah, I don't get down, man. If you do whatever you fuck you want to do, and if he does it, he's going to get placated for it. But I'm not going to participate in that, right? So she ends up telling me, give him my number. So I'm like, if it happens to fall into the coffee table and the roaches don't eat it, he'll grab it, you know? Well, Ricky grabs it. Ricky ends up hooking up in a motel. How he got a ride there, how he got the money to do that, I don't know. He was successful that week fucking selling lemonade, that cool, refreshing drink, right? Whatever he did to make money, he ended up in a hotel room and gave her the Bash brother, the Jose Canseco. You know what I mean? He's in a motherfucker whooping. You know what happened, right? He was doing his thing. The homeboy Sneaky calls me all mad. Hey, bro, I hear my fucking lady was in a motel with your primo. I didn't even know this because, hey, Ricky didn't even let me know. He was doing some slick undercover shit. So I go to my tia's house and I'm like, my tia's like, what do you want? You were fucking over here last weekend again? I need time to let my shit air out. What do you want? I said, I need to talk to Rick. Go talk to him. Let's do it from right there at the screen door. I said, you guys got a screen door? You guys are really balling out. I picked up one of my old man. They put in the screen door. They were tired of the flies, the bed bugs, and the roaches. I don't know. But we got flying bed bugs, mijo. I was like, for reals? Shit. So I went into the room. Ricky's right there with Sheila kicking back, watching TV. He got his shirt all off. Hey, she's over there rubbing on his nipple. I was like, this is what you guys doing? I'm not here. He's like, I'm not the father. He's watching Maury with a cracked ass TV. So I'm like, hey, Rick, let me get at you. Can I get at you then? And I'm like, hey, you fucked with the homeboy's old lady? Well, but I didn't. She fucked with me. She begged me. I said, bro, that's not what I'm hearing. I'm hearing you pull. Yo, whooping, what was I supposed to do? I can't fight the feeling like too short, right? I'm like, hey, the homeboy wants to see you one-on-one. Whooping, I want to see him. So I hook it up. He pulls up with a couple homies, man. They go in the backyard. They get off where they're mad at, right? Ricky mops him up. Boned his old lady and mopped him up. Double up. Just what it is, right? Tell the homeboy, are you good? You know what I mean? And can you hear me now? Literally, he busted your eardrum, but can you hear me now? The homeboy's like, hey, bro, fucking, this ain't over. Ricky said, what? But it's over already. I knocked you out 3 times. It's over. Look, one more time. Boom. Sucker. That's 4x4. You're X down 4 times. North gang. So that was it for Sneaky, right? Ever since then, he talked a lot of shit about Rick. Rick talked a lot of shit about him. What happens is this. We end up going to the county jail. And there's a homie there at the time. Okay? And this homie, I've always held in high regards. Like, he's not from my neighborhood. He's from the west side, though. He's a straight hitter. Okay? He's someone that you do not easily want to press upon. We had one interaction where I thought he was going to kill me. And I'll tell you guys a story on that. That shit was crazy. Like, it was that close, right? And I knew it, and it was bad. But anyways, he's in there. He has the county at the time. And I get in there, and I could tell there's a little animosity between me and him, but not enough for him to press an issue on me because there is no issues because I had juice too. I could press a little issue on him. And but I didn't know shit about him at this time. I'd heard some shit, but it wasn't that major. So when I get in there, there's like 5 people on freeze. Gang of homeboys. And Sneaky's in there, and he's on freeze. And so I get out the homeboy like, what the fuck's going on, bro? Why are all the homeboys like, fuck, half the fucking compa is dicked up. Seems like half the block is fucking no good. He said, nah, bro, we're running through the BNLs and questioning everybody, right? Anything that they had in their past, well, we're questioning. I said, I get that. You know what I'm saying? We don't want weakness, but fuck, bro, I never seen that many people in question at the same time, right? Unless it was like one group thing that happened. So anyways, he's telling me this and that, and I ended up getting out. Like I did 4 or 5 days, man. It was some bullshit. They gave me for aiding and abetting. I had a homeboy that was on the run. he was with me, and I got caught up in a house with them, and bam, they snatched me up too. They didn't have nothing on me because it wasn't my pad. I was just there too at the same time. They let me out. Homeboy stood doing his time. Sneaks is still in there. These dudes whacked the shit out of Sneaks, right? Why? Because of his shit from YA, the past. They said he was no good. He couldn't be trusted. And they used, and they dicked him up. They used anything to push an issue on him to remove him. Well, here's the thing. That dude that pushed that call on him, right? So he ends up getting out, and he's all fucked up, right? They remove him. They put him in PC. He's no longer good. He ends up moving to Ceres, California, right? Which is by Modesto for a while, but that's what we hear. Then he disappears. He comes back around. Ricky whips on him again. This time, Ricky really puts the beaters on him because he's not active. He's no good. And I remember pulling Ricky off. I'm like, hey, bro, the homie didn't even do shit. He's like, fuck him. He's not active. He's not good. He's not good. I was like, all right, calm down. Fuck, before you have a heart attack. Kick him once more because he isn't good. Let me give it. So that's what happens. He ends up getting moving out. Here's the cool part. That same dude who was doing that, pushing that issue, right? That dude was taking people's names on the B&Ls, and if he didn't like them, he was putting bad shit on them, fucking up shit. Hey, we had a homeboy. Look, so about a year later, after they end up discovering that dude was doing that, and he ended up becoming all bad, and he moved out, whatever, right? Sneaky left. It was all bad for him, man. Pobrecito pinche Sneaks. He was stupid, and he was borderline, but he wasn't bad, right? Now everyone be like, oh, he's a piece of shit. He's bad. He got removed, bro, because YA shit that we don't even know was true just because a bunch of people didn't like him. It's fucked up. Like, hey, whatever shenanigans he had going on with Ricky, I respect it. But, you know, Ricky did him dirty. But all that removing, that wasn't cool. So that dude, right, he ends up becoming all bad. And it's like a year later, and I'm locked up with the homeboy. And the homeboy gets immediately put on ice, right? And the homeboy's like, I grew up with this dude. He's a good friend of mine to this day. And he's like, hey, bro. And he was active. We're in the block. And I was self-security at that time. So I had him like being SB'd, shadowed, right? I had two dudes on him with pieces at all time because he was on ice. And he ends up going to medical. And look, this is what happened. He gets in there. He's all spun out. And I tell him, hey, bro, fucking. He doesn't get cleared. He gets put on ice, on freeze. And he had like, I don't know if it was diabetes or whatever. He had to get called out to get insulin. He always went to medical, right? And he's a striver. He's telling me, bro, I ain't going nowhere for no one. I don't give a fuck what the BNL said, bro. I ain't never did none of that shit. I'm good, bro. And I said, yeah, I don't know, bro. So it's not up to me. It's up to whoever calls that cohete, then it is what it is. We were already preparizing. We're preparing to do some bad shit to him, man. I ended up telling him later when I got out, like we were going to break everything he had in his body, right? It was going to be bad. And he tells me, this is why you don't just jump the gun. He tells me, hey, bro, trip out. Guess what's in my property? I said, well, he said, I won the bingo ticket. He said, I was all tweaked out, bro. I ain't even going to lie. And I was scratching. I blacked out the whole bingo ticket. I won like 25 racks. I said, you're fucking lying, bro. Stop it. I mean, bro, you know what? Let's break his arm right now. He's lying, right? He's like, no, serio. I'm not lying, bro. It's palabra. Look, he's like, when I get out, I'm going to send you some bread, but don't tell any of the other homies because I'm only going to kick into you. You're my boy. What happens is he ends up going to medical. Tier tender comes. He's one of my homeboys from my neighborhood, right? He just picked up 15 in the feds. The homeboy comes to my room and he tells me like this, myself. He's like, hey, this is what the homeboy said right here, bro. If that vato is gone, he's gone, right? If he comes back, we're going to clear him, bro, because he's solid, homie, because he knows what time it is. He knew, like, he was in question. He knew that the people that were in there at that particular time were going to break everything. They were going to break your surface, right? They were going to break your back assistance. Homeboys were in there, were gangsters. There were some super gangsters in there at that time, right? Bad people. Bad people that would do bad things to you. Dudes that were looking for any reason for internal conflict. And so he goes, if he comes back, he's cleared. That motherfucker came back. Everybody, I was so proud of him. I was like, damn, bro. Even knowing that these dudes are going to stab the shit out of you, he came back. Took it on the chin, right? Everything was good. He got cleared that day. He ends up getting out 2 days later. Hey, sure enough, sent me money, sent me a picture holding the ticket up like, and that's what's up. Anyway, so you can never judge a book by its cover. But yeah, the homeboy Sneaks, unfortunately, man, he got removed for nothing. It happens all the time. With that being said, man, I got another story about him and Ricky. At one point in time, they actually came together like butt cheeks and pulled the movida together. I'll let you guys know in part 2 of Super Sneaky. If you like this one, hit a 1. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I truly believe in. And that's the betterment of all people. And the gun is on YouTube and I ain't going nowhere. I'm going to go TikTok though. I'm going to go do that in a little bit. But I ain't going nowhere, man. Stop believing the hype. I'm always going to be here. Bang, bang.